Okay, I'm Geodav. In this video what we're going to do is have a very quick look at exporting what will be a manned defense turret from Blender. Now as you can see here, it is extremely basic. We've got a box, we've got a sphere, we've got a cylinder. Okay, at the moment, let's see if the texture comes up. Yeah, there we go. We've got the basic Blender UV texture applied. Now it's been UV mapped. Okay, I'm not going to bother showing you that. And we've got a very simple rig. Now if I just get this to move down so we can see everything. Now things to watch, okay, especially when you're doing something extremely basic like this in Blender. Alright, now obviously the first thing you want to do is make sure you've got what is now called the UDK export tools. Okay, so if you haven't got this showing up in this bar here, now if I remember rightly, that's T. Yeah, T for Tango. Now if this isn't showing up, then what you need to do is very quickly, come on, user preference, go into add-ons. If you go down here you will find, where are we, that one, import export Unreal Engine format, PSK PSA. Okay, that's the one that we definitely need. The other one that will help is import Unreal Skeleton Mesh, PSK. Now this doesn't work correctly at the moment, but it's getting there. Okay, so just make sure you've got those ticked, save as default, and that should then come up here. Now, one of the quirky things, I've mentioned this in my other Blender to UDK videos, is that you've got to remember that to get this to export correctly, there's a few things that you have to take into consideration. Now, one of those things is to make sure the origin of the mesh, get away, Avira. The origin of the mesh is at 0, 0, 0. Yeah. The other thing is that the armature origin has to be at 0, 0, 0. One of the things I've also found out whilst doing this, because I was just going to do 2 bones, was that the exporter doesn't like that. You need a minimum of 3 bones for the exporter to work. Comes up something about legacy problems. Okay, so once you've done your mesh, you've created your rig, you then parent the mesh to the armature. Yeah. Now I've mentioned this in other times before. Let's see if I can find it. Now in under bones, is it that way? I can never find this. I spent the other day, here we go, is that when you have the armature selected, make sure you tick, you come into this bit where it says armature, object data, axis and x-ray ticked so that you can see. Now let me just, I'm still hopeless with Blender, please bear with me. Now at the moment you can't see the axis, but if you go into edit mode by pressing tab, yeah, you will see here the axis being shown. And because the turret is actually going to be a vehicle in UDK, what you got to make sure to make things easier for everybody that's working with it is that the axis for the bones is aligned X forward, Z up, and Y off to the left, as if you're looking along the X-axis. Okay. Now, what else was there? I think that was it. Now, obviously, when you parent it to the that's one of the other things. Now, here we go. Flipping hopeless at this. Quickly looking at the mesh. Now, as you can see here in the outliner, I have got 3 vertex groups. Now obviously I have got no vertices applied or assigned. Let's see if we go in there. Alright, I've got no vertices assigned to the turret fire, which is fine. It will still pick up that bone. Okay, but if you have bones in your rig which it doesn't have any vertex groups, you may get problems exporting. Okay, so one of the other little things that you might want to watch if you're getting problems when you're exporting, alright, have your mesh selected, open up your UDK exporter, smooth groups. You can set how your file name's done and export and all the rest of it. But what you want to watch is, if you're getting problems, click on this toggle console. Now we then get the Blender console come up. Alright, event has invalid window. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so remember, with just the mesh selected, then click on export now, and it should have worked. Let me just try. Finished export. There we go. Now obviously the windows, the toggle consoles disappeared. If it disappears, just click on it a couple of times, it will come back up and you will get this. Okay, that's the first bit that we had, and then you get export, your version, your paths, number of meshes selected, armature mesh vertex matches OK. So remember, your armature, your bones need, I think, to make sure you have the correct vertex groups as well. Now if we go down here a little bit, it tells you a bit more about the mesh. Just in case, material, it doesn't export the material. Okay, remember that you have to import that separate. And then if you go down, you go armature, it'll tell you bone ID 0 is turret base, 1 turret ball, 2 turret fire, status OK. Now going down to the rest of it, animations, we haven't done any animations, and your skeletal mesh data is the amount of points, wedges, oh well, whatever. Your faces, your materials, that you've only got one material applied to it, the amount of bones and influences, whatever, and that's where it's exported it to. Now if we had animations on this, we could also export the animations. I'll go into that in another video later on. Okay, so that's basically what we've done. And next video I'll be bringing, well, I've still got to make a material for this, well, texture. I'll get that all set up over the next few weeks, and slowly we'll bring this into game so you can actually play with it. Yeah, and then we'll look at doing a slightly more advanced form of turret. But this is just going to be a basic, get you in to see how to do a simple skeletal mesh turret being used as which you can then man yourself in game. Okay, and don't forget we're going to be using the UT game code. So that's it for now, and I'll see you at the next time. Okay, bye bye now. Right. Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Sorry. There we go.